Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday, Happy New Year. It is the last day of 2023. We are here in Minneapolis, Minnesota at 2nd and Park in the Mill District of Minneapolis. Last week, I had somebody inquire about staying in this area. They were wondering if this was a safe part of town, if it was a nice spot. So I figured I would start a stream here today. So this is 2nd and Park. 2nd goes all the way along here, a little corridor through the city. And then Park is a north-south street here that will head down this direction. I'm not sure where the person was looking at, but this is that intersection. There's this brand new tower coming in, residential right here. It's going to be finishing up here in the next couple months, opening in early 2024. You have your east-west street of 2nd with our brand new bike lane that was just put in this year. But yeah, of all the parts of the city of Minneapolis, I think this is a very nice area, not a ton of concern. Wanted to start the video here just so I can send that to that person and they can see what they are considering. Whoa. Yeah, I hope you're all having a wonderful day. And let's take a little walk around here. We're going to head towards the Guthrie Theater in the Mill City Museum. There is a Minnesota Vikings football game happening up the street tonight. So I think it's about 3 o'clock. In the next hour or so, the parking meters switch up. If you are visiting Minneapolis at some point, a little tip: this area here all along 2nd Street is going to be $6 an hour to park during that period. And if you head 2 blocks up to where that Sarasota building is, you can park there for I think $1.50 an hour. It's an extra 2-3 block walk to the game. But I guess this is the last game of the year, so if you're doing that, it would have to be next year. But yeah, not too far of a walk, and you can save a substantial amount on your parking there if you're able. It's one thing I just noticed as I was parking today. I went to park over here by the Guthrie Theater, and as I was feeding the meter, it said $6 an hour, and I was like, yeah, that's not going to happen. I'll just walk a bit. Maybe we will, before the end of the stream, walk over and see what kind of Vikings tailgate parties and stuff are going on right now. But we'll give them a bit of time to get kicked off. That game's not for a few hours. As you can see, we recently got a little bit of snow last night, about 1 inch. It's been a pretty dry winter here in Minnesota this year so far. I guess we're only 10 days into literal winter, but into our winter season, we haven't had much snow or really much cold. Now we're getting more to that normal weather we'd expect, where it's about mid-20s. Got a little bit of snow yesterday. Nice little dusting, and it finally feels like winter in Minnesota. We're looking south right now towards US Bank Stadium, where the Vikings will be playing a football game tonight. This is the beautiful Guthrie Theater, which I think is a very cool spot. Definitely worth visiting and checking out if you are ever in the cities. hello to everybody who has tuned into the live stream so far. Thank you for stopping by. It's been, I think, 2-3 weeks since I was able to do a live stream. Been a very busy holiday season for me. I hope anybody who has regularly been tuning in has had a great Christmas or holiday or whatever you celebrate. I have had a great couple weeks, and I hope you have too. And I hope you have all the best in 2024 with the new year coming in tonight. Already 2024 in certain parts of the world. So this is 2nd Street that we're walking on still. You can see down there, I think the football game starts in something 3 or 4 hours. I don't think it's for a while. You can see they're starting to get set up. Mohammed says, coming to Minneapolis 2024 through DV Lottery 2025. Cool. I hope you enjoy Minneapolis and have a great time here. We are excited to have more people visiting and coming to see our wonderful city. We appreciate you in the chat today and appreciate you coming to Minneapolis. If you have anything you want to see before you come, feel free to send me a message and I'll try to show it off to you. This is Gold Medal Park here. It's a sculpture garden. And there's a little hill up there. You can see really nice views of the Mississippi River and the Stone Arch Bridge from there. This tower we're looking at is the brand new, about a year old actually, so still very new. The 11 on the water, or 11 on the river, at 1111, and it is, I think, the tallest residential tower on the Mississippi, something like that. But a very cool new property that very recently opened up. Really changed the skyline. Oh yeah, Mohammed, I'd love to go out, grab a cup of coffee, say hi. Always looking to meet people, make new friends. Please send me an email. Izzy says, hey, I'm a prospective student at U of M and was wondering what you think about the safety of transit in the Twin Cities. So I ride the bus sometimes. I mostly drive or walk, or sometimes ride a bike. I unfortunately did have my primary bike stolen because I left my garage open, so gave someone that opportunity and unfortunately they took advantage of it. When it comes to safety of transit, I think the bus lines are overall pretty mellow. I lived in San Francisco before I lived here, and I think the buses are pretty comparable. I haven't personally experienced anything on the buses. The light rail lines, I've heard a lot of complaints about recently, but what I can say is that they being Metro Transit and the Metropolitan Council who runs the light rail is working to improve that. And unfortunately, post-COVID, things got pretty, from what I hear, pretty rough on those transit lines, being the light rail, the green line, and the blue line, to where there was unfortunately drug use and people feeling pretty unsafe on there. And lots of reported crimes. Nothing that I've personally experienced, but it is something that you've heard about happening. And what Metro Transit is really pushing to do in 2024 is they have added more fare checks, more transit ambassadors on those trains who are checking tickets, who are calling in park police and transit police when necessary, and getting those resources to make sure that transit is good for everyone, because I mean, if you can't feel comfortable and safe riding on the train, what's the point in having it? It's got to exist in a way that we can enjoy it and that the average person is able to have a good, comfortable time on it. Same with our streets, same with our bike lanes, same with our highways. I think the things, from the times I've ridden light rail, I haven't experienced it, but what I hear is that the middle car they're typically 3-car trains, and that middle car is typically the one where some of the unfortunate activity tends to happen. But from my understanding, you stay in the front and the rear cars, they tend to be pretty okay. But I haven't personally experienced any of that stuff. I have ridden transit I went to a Vikings game a couple weeks back, rode the train down there, and that was completely fine. Yeah, overall, I think the transit system is good. Most of the U of M students I know who ride it, that area around the college is so populated with students that it's used widely enough to where it is, those concerns that you have, the issues that happen on transit, I think happen in some of the less occupied places where people take advantage of creeping in the shadows and being able to not be noticed, I guess, because there's not so many people. And yeah, I have had coworkers who have had bad experiences on the trains, and plenty of people who had bad experiences. But Metro Transit is working to improve that. They are trying to find ways. They're talking about adding turnstile checks on the trains to try to make it a little more difficult for people to just walk on. But yeah, hopefully that answers your question about transit. In general, I'll make a point to ride the trains a bit more in 2024 so I can give a more clear answer. I know today they are opening up the trains at night. They typically service ends at 11:30, which I think is a little too early on the average night. And they're keeping it until midnight because it's New Year's Eve and because of the football game. So I think if they can get more trains running, more people riding those trains, you'll end up having an overall better environment on there as the future comes. Mohammed says, please make a night walk video in downtown Minneapolis and the Skyway system. Yeah, I will do that. I do have plans of doing a downtown night video, hopefully before the holiday lights come down, which would have to be in the next couple weeks here. I was waiting for us to get a nice dusting of snow, so it was looking pretty drab around here. Everything was beige and a bit boring. But yeah, I'll definitely get on a night video. I made a video in the Skyway system maybe a month and a half, 2 months ago. That one was pretty fun. The Skyway, if you're talking about Skyways at night, that's not really something that's too doable because they close the Skyways pretty early these days. Typically, I think it's 5 or 6, but I'm not entirely sure. But yes, most of the Skyway businesses are closing at 2-3 p.m., which that is another thing that, separate from the Metropolitan Council, the Minneapolis Downtown Council and Downtown Association and the City of Minneapolis are pushing for in 2024 is to rethink downtown in a way that is less commercial focused, because those office spaces are not being used the way they were in the past, and then hopefully making it more community and family friendly and getting those businesses open a little bit longer. Yeah, they, all these ideas about what to do, but we'll see. I'm very hopeful because do need to see some improvement if we want to become a more sought after tourist city. I'd love to see more people coming to visit Minneapolis and enjoying it, and people having a little more positive perception of the city. We are looking at downtown from the Stone Arch Bridge. Dominic says, I loved hanging around the area or walking in the summertime between 2008 and 2014 when I lived there. I agree, Dominic. One of my favorite areas of the city, that Mill District here, is, I mean, one of the nicest, most taken care of the parts of the city. As I don't know if you were all in here earlier, I mentioned that I started this video right there because someone had asked about safety in that area in the comments of one of my previous videos. And I wanted to show that it is an incredibly clean, incredibly safe area. And I think there has been issues with, like, on 4th of July, a couple years ago, there was notoriously people driving through the streets and shooting fireworks out of their cars. But that, I think that was a pretty rare occasion, and they probably shut that down pretty quickly. But it's very hard to control a narrative. Someone says, hello, does downtown have fireworks? Unfortunately, we have not had fireworks in Minneapolis for a few years. I think maybe the Aquatennial celebration in the summer has fireworks, but I don't believe there's any fireworks or New Year's Eve celebration going on today. I might just not be in the know. We stopped doing 4th of July fireworks after 2020. We haven't done them since the pandemic there. And I don't know what the future plans are. I hope that those do come back in 2024, because this year we had a laser light show that I skipped out on because it did not get me excited enough to head out. Izzy says, hey, have you ever been to Pittsburgh? Because one of the things that attracted me the most to MSP was that it has a lot of similarities to Pittsburgh. I don't think I've been to Pittsburgh, maybe driven through it, but haven't spent any substantial amount of time to have an understanding of it. Dominic says, it sounds like Minneapolis hasn't fallen like Portland, Seattle, SF, etc. That makes me happy. Yeah, I think many of the issues in Minneapolis are kind of pocketed, as they are in some other cities. I do have friends and family in many of those other cities, in Portland, San Francisco, who live great lives and love it and have very different understandings of the city than what I see on the news and what you see the videos of. But yeah, those definitely some unfortunate situations out there that have, I think, hurt the livability there for a lot of people. This bridge we are on right now, really quick, is the Stone Arch Bridge. This is going to be renovated here in the next year or so. So within, I think I don't know if it's 2024 or 2025 that they're planning on shutting down part of the bridge, and you'll only be able to walk either one direction, but there will be a point when you won't be able to make a complete crossing on the bridge. But for now, we can still cross it. I'm actually not going to head over to that side. I'm probably going to turn around about here, continue exploring the other side of the river, but I did want to come out and take a look at the beautiful Mississippi today. Here at the Mississippi Lock. Local Shower Pooper says, you ever considered doing a bike ride tour video of Minneapolis? We've got some of the best bike infrastructure in North America, and it'd be really cool to see that in action. Absolutely, I have thought about that a bit. Main thing I need to do is get a support for my phone to put on the on my handlebars, which, I mean, I could probably buy one for, I'm sure that they have them online for $15-20 for a cheap one, and could see how that works. But yeah, we have such great bike infrastructure here, so many great bike lanes, so many places where we prioritize that accessibility. I think this year we were ranked #1 in the country when it comes to bike infrastructure, and that's really awesome to see. I don't know if I can flip my phone today. I'm actually wearing a shirt right now from the bike bus shirt that we designed, because we being me and some of the other parents at one of my kids' schools, is we try to do at least once a week a bike bus where everybody gets on the bikes with their kids and you ride alongside, just to keep them active, plant those seeds of loving to ride bikes and making use of our wonderful park system and our wonderful bike lanes in this city. Yeah, I got my coat on, so I can't show the shirt. But yeah, it's a little bike bus shirt that I have on today. I'm a big fan of the bike infrastructure here, which I honestly haven't taken advantage of as much as I should have, but maybe in the new year. We are heading back over the Stone Arch Bridge now.
Didn't have the grades.
And then maybe explore. Yeah, we do have, someone says we have less snow this year. We do have less snow so far this year. Nice little dusting last night. I think, well, I guess more than a dusting. I think it was about an inch. Really brightened up the city. I think there's, if I remember correctly, this morning I saw some more flakes in the forecast, so maybe more coming. Definitely looks like we are supposed to say sustained cold for a bit now, which is good because a lot of the local events and stuff have been getting canceled. There were I don't know if it's ice castles or I think Minnesota Ice Fest. Yeah, it's called Minnesota Ice Festival at or MN Ice. I think it was a play on Minnesota Nice. It was a thing that they're doing at the Minnesota Vikings practice facility in their offices. They were going to have this, it was going to be the world record ice maze. And unfortunately they had to cancel that event because it was just so warm over the last month. It was typically in December, you know, we're in the 20s and 30s, and we were in the 50s almost every day, and couldn't get that ice going and couldn't safely set that event up to where people would be able to enjoy it. So they had to call it off this year. Hopefully those organizers will be able to come back next year and do it again. Also, there's been a lot of issues with people falling into lakes this year because it's been so warm. I think just this last weekend there was something like 100 people that had to be rescued off of one of the lakes up in northern Minnesota. Local Shower says it's nice to finish out 2023 with some fresh powder on the ground. Yeah, I think the ski hills will definitely appreciate that, on top of their layers and layers of artificial or man-made snow, machine-made snow. But yeah, I'm hoping for some really nice heavy snow here in the coming weeks. I always love a good walk when it's really coming down. We're here at the Waterworks Pavilion, home to Omni by the sous chef. Nice restaurant. You can see all people up in the windows enjoying their meal, looking out at the river, maybe looking at me. I don't know. They're looking at something. Local Shower says, it boggles my mind how impatient ice fishers are every year. And for what? To drill a hole in the ice, drink beer, and wait for a little flag to pop up? These people tempting natural selection, ISTG. Yeah, I don't get it. It seems like you were tempting fate there. I see how it could be nice, I guess. I've never been ice fishing, but I see how it could be nice to sit around on the snow and drink beer with your friends and have a time to catch up. And if that's where your sense of community is, where you spend that time with your friends every winter and you're missing out on that and looking forward to it, I see why someone could be eager to do it, but you gotta weigh out the risk and realize that when there's an inch of water or an inch of ice on the ground, you're tempting fate there, and it's not going to end well for you. Dominic says that they worked on West River Road and walked to Hennepin to the bus stop all winter. Love the snow walks. Yeah. During a nice winter day, anything above 10 or so, enjoy it. Once we start getting below 10, I do not enjoy it so much. Jamin says, Happy New Year 2024. Same to you, Jamin. Thank you. Appreciate that. I wish everybody in the chat best of luck in 2024. And that whatever goals you set out, whether it be for the new year or for the day or for the next 5 minutes, that you can make that happen and that you can find that motivation to do what you need to do and be who you want to be. We're all just trying to get through life the best we can. And I hope that I can be supportive of you in that in any way I can. And I appreciate you coming along for a walk with me today. Happy New Year to you too, local shower. There's today I went to with my kids and in Como Park in St. Paul. There was a Happy Noon Year event, and it was so Como Park and Zoo is a free park, conservatory, and zoo in St. Paul, Minnesota. Just massive spot. I think there's everything from a small ski hill to the zoo, the conservatory, all these different plants and flowers you can see, to a little lake, all kinds of stuff out there. And today they had an event for families and kids on New Year's, and they did a little countdown and there was a DJ. This place was packed, shoulder to shoulder inside there, and then they dropped down the confetti. It was wild, but the more I think about it, there's nothing really like that for adults in the evening here in Minneapolis, or St. Paul for that matter, that I'm aware of. Someone says the Mall of America is busy. Yeah, I'd imagine it'll probably be a pretty busy day today. Getting some shopping in, using those holiday gift cards. Local shower says, is the European Christmas market still up in St. Paul? Didn't manage to get there in time for the holidays. It actually closed the week before Christmas. So, not still open. It's I think 3 or 4 weekends there in December and late November. Miguel says, greetings from Cancun. I was in MSP in November, had a great time. Welcome, Miguel. Glad you had a great time here. Glad to have you on the stream today. Look at this. We've got what appears to be newly married couple in front of the federal building. The Paul Wellstone Federal Building. Oh, I'm in the back of your video. Oh, maybe they got married here at the Milwaukee Road Residence Inn. It's a beautiful spot. It used to be a train station. Back when we had a massive connected rail system in the northern United States and throughout the country. Oh, look at this guy. Here's our federal building and the Carlisle residences. It's a condo building. And this is Washington Avenue up here. This building straight ahead of us is the Wells Fargo Operations Center, or formerly was. It is currently vacant. It's going to be, I think, Harmonia is what they're calling it's either 2 or 3 tower mixed use place. Yeah, live, work, play, stay. And I think they're putting their plans in front of the city here in the coming months, and then hopefully demolition will be starting in spring 2024, if I recall correctly. Yeah, this glass building will be torn down, make way for a new build within the next year or so. Local shower pooper says, people really took the unique blend of architecture in our city for granted. A lot of similarly sized cities just feel bland in comparison. Yeah, lots of different styles. Definitely some representation from pretty well-known architects who have some famous buildings throughout the country. Lots of cool different styles. Yeah. I think this area, once you get, north of the federal building here, a lot of it's all those new builds from when they tore down the Gateway District here. You can see a bit of one of my favorite buildings peeking out there, the Minneapolis City Hall and the Clock Tower. Beautiful Richardsonian Romanesque building. I was at a model railroad, the Twin City Model Railroad Museum a while back. Last month, they do a thing called night trains throughout the month of December, and they had a replica of this Milwaukee Road station, the depot, and very cool looking spot in there, and I was just very impressed by that model railroad museum. Like they have this cool building here. Definitely something worth checking out if you're in the Twin Cities in the winter. I think they do kind of busy here right now. My grandparents got married in the Basilica of St. Mary, another great example of architecture here. Yeah, that was it one of the first basilicas in the United States, or one of the largest, or there was some sort of, there's something special about it. I apologize for not knowing at the moment, but that's a building. I've been doing this channel for about 1.5 years now, and I don't think I've ever really showcased that awesome space. I've planned on it many times, and then other things have come up to where I've ended up going other directions or recording in other places those days, but definitely need to show that one. I ride my bike by it sometimes, drive by it sometimes on the highway there, and can see it from the walker when I'm over there. Very cool spot. You know, they used to do a music festival there, the Basilica Block Party. They'd have a lot of nationally touring bands playing there. I think the last one was Spoon or something. And we are back here on 2nd before we head over towards the Viking stuff to see what we can see in the football area. I don't know how close we can get there, because when I was there last time they were blasting music, and you know, YouTube can get kind of mad if you're listing other people's music and record labels and all that stuff. This is Cream Cafe over here, brand new. I think opened up within the last couple weeks. It is the owners of Soul Bowl, which is a soul food restaurant in Minneapolis. It's in the Gray's building. It's like a food hall. Brand new coffee shop. Coffee rules everything around me. The Wu-Tang Clan reference. I think in San Francisco there was a cream that was a cookies rule everything around me. Dominic says, yes, St. Mary's Basilica and St. Paul Cathedral are incredible. I used to visit on Saturdays and when the organists practice. Wow, yeah, sounds very cool. St. Paul Cathedral, another one I have not been to before, but need to check out. Hey, we got some Vikings fans over here. Yeah, St. Paul is one of those places that really I've visited here and there, but I think over the last couple months found myself there a little more often, as they had some more stuff going on throughout the holidays than Minneapolis did, with Holidazzle and some of the other stuff being canceled here. The local shower booper says they've got their Vikes hat on right now. Heard a lot of mixed opinions on the Vikings. Some people are saying they want them to win just for pride or something, and others are saying they want them to lose so they can pick a better player for next year. Yeah. I think this is their last home game of the year, and then they play another one next week on the road. This is the McPhail Center for the Arts. Gives me some feelings of Frank Gehry influence there. Specifically this part here. I don't care if they win as long as the Patriots and Packers lose. Yeah, sometimes fandom and sports is just a much about being able to get bragging rights to the other team and being able to have fun with your friends and talk a little trash and celebrate your city. I've never been out to Green Bay, Wisconsin, but it is on a list of places to check. I watched a football game that was there a couple weeks ago on TV. It looked like they had a really nice outdoor area with like an outdoor skating rink. Some really cool stuff they'd built around that stadium. I think would be fun to visit. Lots of Christmas trees here outside I think this is the Sherman Associates building. The Depot Office Center. And this is the Depot. You can see that wedding inside there, that couple that we saw getting their photos taken and video taken. Crooked Pint, very popular Vikings pregame spot. It is the Minneapolis Fire Department coming out of their brand new fire station. Opened up maybe a year ago right there. So this building you see coming up right here on Park, or actually that's Portland, I apologize, is, so it's got this residential and then another smaller commercial tower on the back side. The tower on the other side is actually where the fire station, I think it's Fire Station 1, used to be located. And, oh, we got a ambulance up here too. Hopefully everybody's all right. Oh, not Sherman, ESG, another architect firm here. I think Sherman might actually be a builder. But. Oh yeah, so this fire station that was there on the other side, they had to build this tower in pieces because first they had to build the brand new fire station on the other side that we just walked by, and then they were able to tear down the old one, but they had to have that new one fully functional before they could start progress on the new one. And now they're able to continue building here. And it's been coming up pretty quick. 250 Portland. Local shower pooper says it's cool that they're building more housing on South Washington. I just hope it's not too expensive. Yeah, unfortunately it'll probably be pretty expensive. All these new builds are, you just can't keep up with demand in the cities, with even as you see people moving out to suburbs and moving to other cities. I guess actually this year we did just see that Minneapolis had an increase in people in 2023, but yeah, just can't keep up with demand, especially in downtown Minneapolis. So it's going to take a lot of large new towers to get to where we need to be to have more affordable housing. You just really have to saturate that rental market enough to where there's people who need it, and they can start dropping prices. But as long as that supply remains low, they're going to keep those prices up and keep making you pay whatever the lowest bidder, highest bidder is willing to pay. We got lots of new housing coming up along here. Up there on Washington, there's that one. There's a new one, that Harmonia we walked by at the Wells Fargo Center. There's going to be, I think, on Marquette, another mixed-use tower that they're looking to get final approval for. A couple new buildings in the North Loop. Those about 10-story buildings just to get more people brought in. Bar? Lots of football fans inside Bar. I think as we get closer and closer to this area, it's probably going to be pretty packed with football fans. And yeah, the other guy's wearing green. I think it is. It's the Green Bay Packers are the other team today. Were we talking about that a minute ago? I think so. So when I was thinking today about how when I was at that New Year's event in St. Paul, a daytime New Year's event, and thinking about how we don't really have any large public New Year's event here in Minneapolis, I was thinking about how there's this football game tonight and how there's going to be all these thousands and thousands of people congregating here around the stadium around Minneapolis and this massive commons park that we have right here. Why not have some sort of large celebration in this area in the future where everyone can congregate together and I'll do something on the stadium or on one of the buildings around here to celebrate the new year in a communal fashion to bring people together. Because if there's one thing I think the Twin Cities need, it's more large communal events that are free and welcoming to everybody. Jamin says Minneapolis does an excellent job clearing and removing snow off downtown sidewalks. So I think that the sidewalks are all privately maintained, and that's something that the city council is talking about here, is potentially making that a city-funded thing to where the city will be maintaining the sidewalks during the winters, to where when it snows, the same way they plow our streets for us, they would have people plowing the sidewalks in some of these downtown areas and in some of the more central corridors, because occasionally you do have that problem landlord who, I don't know about problem landlord, but that landlord who doesn't who hires someone who doesn't show up or doesn't hire someone at all. But yeah, the sidewalks were taken care of very well today. With an inch of snow, with the amount of foot traffic you get around here, it'll get picked up pretty easily and pretty quickly. You have the Armory right here. I'm sure they have some sort of fun New Year's Eve event inside there. This is Lucid Nights, I believe, with Z, Z-E-D-D. Armory is a very cool old venue. It used to be home to, well, it used to be an armory, then it was home to the Los Angeles Lakers of Minneapolis, Minnesota, before they were of the Los Angeles. Used to be a basketball team there, and then I think they weren't doing much with it for a while, renovated in the last decade or so. Now it is a very cool concert venue, bringing in lots of good-sized bands. Went to 2 concerts there in 2023, Queens of the Stone Age and Yeah Yeah Yeahs, and had a great time at both of them. Did I go to any other ones there? I don't think so. I think I was looking at some others, but that's all I ended up doing. We'll get about to the street here, but I can't get much closer because of the music playing. Oh, there's big skull letters on the stadiums. Local Shower says our NFL team may not be the greatest, but our stadium can't be beat. Beautiful design, unparalleled transit and bike access. Absolutely, like I was watching. Looks like there's a warming house here. Zoom in. The long house. Lots of people inside. Outdoor party with DJs. The big in the building. Just absolutely massive stadium there. Yeah, I was watching a video about like sports stadiums and transit access, or I don't know if it was a YouTube video or I was reading an article or what. And some other stadiums got better transit access than the Viking Stadium, and I was like, how, like, the station is right there. How can you get any closer than that? Like, I guess some of them are underneath the stadium or something, but yeah, it's very accessible.
I don't know.
Another thing that, as we were talking about the transit concerns that many people have had recently, you know, these steps, oftentimes this park has had congregations of people. You never know what they're up to, but congregations of people here that, you know, loud. So when I went to a game last time, there was, yeah, some people who were pretty messed up outside. I don't know if they were just really drunk or what, but and people kind of avoid that area, and looks like today they've cleared that space out. Just so that the people who are taking transit to and from the game, which today is free after 6 p.m. Transit is free in Minneapolis thanks to Miller Lite or Coors Light or some brewing company. They have sponsored the transit system for the night. They paid however much money to get their name on the free transit. But as I said earlier, the last train leaves at 12:15, which if you're out for New Year's, you don't want to go home at 12:15. I want to stay out till 2 a.m. and party all night.
Now that you get the cold weather? Yeah. That like sucks, right?
I think in that same video where they were talking about the stadiums and transit accessibility, I think the Target Center, the basketball stadium, got a little bit better, but even so, I think they knocked it for being a block away. It's like, give me a break. This is the Off the Rails Public House. I believe it was formerly Bus Stop Brew Pub, but at some point switched over.
Non-stop.
The new-ish Wells Fargo towers within the last, I think, decade or so. It used to be there's still Wells Fargo presence in Wells Fargo Center here. Oh, there we go. The middle one, the kind of Art Deco looking one. Looks like it was built in the 30s or 40s, but it was built in the 80s. And they moved over here.
This is my life.
We're coming up on Boludo here on the right. Really cool Argentine pizza place. We've got about 3 or 4 locations in the city.
Hello, followers.
Hello. Very cool spot. Great Argentine style pizza, empanadas. I think they have one named after Messi. The Messi empanada. A special empanada. There it is. Messi. Uh-oh. Wonder who's in the bus getting the escort in. Yeah, it looks like we've been streaming for about an hour. Thanks to everybody who is walking along today. Hope you're all having a great afternoon. Appreciate you being here. If you enjoy the video, you know all the stuff that you're supposed to do. Click the like button and share it with your friends. If you want to catch me streaming more often, subscribe and hit the notification so that you can see when I go on. Try to stream about once a week or so throughout the Twin Cities area for the most part. We will keep that up in 2024. It is the Minneapolis City Hall. Whoa. Jamin says, how do you keep your fingers and toes warm while walking in the cold weather? Hand warmers, I have got these thin gloves on here on this hand. O0. Nothing crazy, my fingers are definitely cold. And then this hand, if you would believe it, is free and in my pocket. So pretty chilly. And then my toes, I got regular tennis shoes on, nothing, I guess not tennis shoes, sneakers, I don't know. Regular shoes on, nothing too crazy, warm socks. Yeah, it's not too bad today. The Grain Exchange building. Nord MX says, anything cool at the old Macy's display in Nicollet Mall? Yeah, so there is, I don't think I can make it up there today. I'll definitely make a point to try to show that off in the coming days, but there is a, they invited artists to put stuff in the different windows there. So there's art displays in there along Nicollet Mall there. I think that's where the Dayton's project is now, if I remember correctly. And they used to do the displays on, what was it, the 9th floor or something like that, and they'd have a Christmas display every year. They did away with that a few years back. The City Hall parking garage. Is that where you go to yell at the mayor? Actually, I think the city council and all that is going to be in the public services building for the next month or two. They're doing some sort of renovation to the chambers where they typically meet and make all their decisions for us. There's a brand new fence along the Justice Center there, the jail, call it what it is. They had a temporary fence on there since 2020, was it 2020 or 2021 that they put the temporary fence up there. Man, I thought that thing was an eyesore. And instead of taking the fence down altogether, they put a more permanent one, which will eventually be done to the Viking Stadium too. They're putting some sort of a permanent fence around there, I believe at great taxpayer expense, but is the city center, government center light rail station right here at City Hall. The Green Line train heading to St. Paul, through the University of Minnesota, down to downtown St. Paul. US Bank Towers here in the foreground. And then Government Center and the brand new City Services building. Let's go be in the thick of people and see what people are up to. Nobody likes walking on empty streets, right? I think that's one of the things I hear the most in these videos is, where is everybody? Why isn't there anybody out in Minneapolis and St. Paul? Gotta be around people while we can. Jamin, I feel like you shouldn't have mentioned my fingers getting cold, because I feel like since you said that, I started noticing it, and now my hand that is out exposed to the air, not in my coat pocket, is starting to feel those elements. Or maybe it's just hitting that hour mark where it's starting to feel a little bit cold. Yeah, we'll see in the coming months when hopefully we get those 10 degree, 8 degree, sub-zero days. I'll try to do some walks and streams on those days so that we can get out in the bitter cold. And you can stay home and be cozy, or at your desk, or wherever it is that you watch from. So we're coming back up on the Armory here on the right. We were talking about that in a bit. We'll take a moment to acknowledge a friend of mine who is the house photographer there. His name is Andrew. On Instagram, he can be found at North Star Images. And he is the photographer here at the Armory and just puts out very cool photos from every concert that they put on here. And if you enjoy music photography, and he does some other stuff, I think he does weddings and different photographic content from around the state. If you enjoy that stuff, definitely check out North Star Images on Instagram. Very cool guy. I met him taking photographs at a Minnesota United soccer game one time, and then now he has picked up this gig photographing at the Armory. Really makes the shows look like a good time, makes it look like the crowd's having a good time. Well, the crowd probably is having a good time, and the shows probably are a good time, but he really captures that well. There's another brand new building, the Thrivent building, opened within the last year. Thrivent Financial just moved in. I think I remember reading that building has a full-time art curator for the art and the displays throughout the building for the employees to enjoy. So tonight is Zed. Yesterday was Zed's Dead. I don't know. Oh, those are the same person? Different set. Jamin says, I always wear double hand warmers inside both my gloves and boots, nice and warm, especially in sub-zero temps. Yeah, if you put the warmers on there, you can get through it. It's all about preparation, right? Looks like we've got a Vikings photographer here in front of us. Rolly bag with the camera gear. There's that Thrivent building. Yeah, I always wear. Jamin was talking about hand warmers here. One of the first times I came, I moved out here in 2017 or 2018, and I started photographing soccer games out here for Minnesota United, or for a blog at Minnesota United games, I should say. And one of the first games I was shooting, it was in March or something like that, and it was 20-something degrees outside. And I didn't bring gloves. I had super thin gloves, and then by the end of the night, my fingers were just felt like they were gonna fall off. They were so cold. And I get into the photo room afterwards, and there's a guy packing up a bunch of free hand warmers that they had that I just had missed the pile the whole time. And oh man, I was so mad at myself. Just miserably cold for no reason. Hey. And then another really cold one here was, I think it was one of the coldest soccer games in United States soccer history, was here in Minnesota about 2 years ago in February. January or February, and it was, I think, 8-degree wind chill or 8 degrees or something that day. Just way too cold to be having a soccer game, but they still did it. That time I had hand warmers and was better prepared, but had my face mask and everything. We got the Grinch out here. Yeah, those outdoor events here in winter can get you. I've had some days at the art shanties on Lake Harriet, where it was in that 8-10 degree range with a lot of wind, and it can get rough. Got to double up on the hand warmers. Right, coming closer to that football stadium again, US Bank Stadium.
Wait.
Dominic says, is that reflection off the glass is something? Yeah, that reflection off the glass is something. I love that reflection of downtown Minneapolis off that glass of the stadium there. Always so cool to see. From this little footbridge that crosses over. Really nice views of downtown Minneapolis from up there. Let's go take a look. Why not? Get too close because it's pretty loud music. Probably have to mute the video if it's picking up on that, but we'll see. Closing the ticketing booth because it's free for the rest of the day. Will say when I came to the Monday night football game here, I think I waited about an hour to get on that train. I feel like you just stack them up for the time that game gets out. So that's just train after train after train just to get everybody out of here in a quick and timely manner. But you know, finding drivers is more difficult, and allocating how you do that sort of thing. Not my expertise. Always easy to claim what would be an easy choice from the side, but when you get in the depths of planning stuff, it's not always that simple. I think that's one thing that I've learned with time and experience in life. All right. There is our view of downtown Minneapolis from the pedestrian walkway, pedestrian bridge going into US Bank Stadium. Blasting the Too Short. Let's see, it is 4:30. The game doesn't start for another 3 hours. Already got a lot of people out here partying. You can see the tailgate stuff over there. Let's walk over that way. There's another brand new residential tower on Park. See the Capella Tower lit up in purple and yellow for the Los Angeles Lakers or the football team, who knows? One can only guess. I wonder if I'll be able to exit this way. We'll find out. They're doing a thing inside the stadium here on Tuesdays and Thursdays where they open the stadium up. I think I guess open the stadium up isn't the right term because it's a paid event. It's I think $15 and you can get in and inline skate or walk, run around the levels. I think the second level is walking and running and the third is inline skating or vice versa, just to give people a warm indoor place to keep moving during the winter. If you're looking for something a little more, I guess, different from Mall of America, because you can do your walking in Mall of America for free. I think they have a walking path that they have in there where you can do. But yeah, I was considering going inside there at some point this winter and maybe making a video of that event. Can I cross right here? Let's see. Some really cool details on the light rail station there, just giving you that feel. So it looks kind of like the Stone Arch Bridge, also gives like the art kind of brings it in with the Vikings energy and the Vikings vibe there. Nice little details. I think the difference between a good and a great station and good and great cities is all in the details. Anyone can build an ice rink, but you build a really cool one that is very visually appealing and wow.
Oh yeah, I saw this. Stairs up. Oh, we still can.
Wonder what's going on up here. Says transition is unstable due to weak network. Justin Lucas says they live in Hopkins. Hello, Justin of Hopkins. Hope you're having a great evening. Wishing you a happy new year. Thanks for tuning in today. Eduardo Monahan MIA says está asistindo del centro de Amsterdam.
Welcome.
Yeah, saying hopefully it's hanging in there. Maybe a little congested in this area. We'll see. What do we have here? Food truck or something? Beer tent? Oh, they've got the little Vikings helmets. And all the tailgate crowds having a good time.
Oh, my mic fell off.
Oh, it says Capital.
There we go. Accidentally pulled the microphone off there. Alright, let's walk by the tailgate here and see what we see besides the front of a bunch of cars. Oh, so it's in the literal tailgate of the cars. I guess that's where the name comes from. You got the Jenga, the games. The Skull Bus. I think I was supposed to cross across the street there. Not the safest spot. You can see the Riverside Place, Cedar Riverside apartments across the freeway there. I don't know how well you can see it. I'm not sure about the stream quality today. It'd be cool if there was a way to stream in like 4K as opposed to just the 1080p. Loon mural. Whoa! All right, it looks like my gimbal battery has died. So that will mark the end of our stream today. Wow, look at this setup. Yeah, I'm gonna head over to Washington and then probably cut out here in a minute. But thank you everybody for watching. It's probably getting pretty bumpy and shaky here. This is a real deal tailgate. Yeah, I don't know about the quality of the gimbal in the cold here. So this is the first time using this gimbal when it's been this cold, and maybe about an hour and 20 minutes. I did charge it right before I left, so surprised that it wasn't able to hold up. But thank you to everybody for watching today. Hopefully I'll see you on the stream again someday. I'm going to go ahead and cut out before the video gets too long, too shaky. Thanks again for tuning in. Wishing everybody a very happy new year. Hopefully you ring in the new year in a way that pleases you, and I wish you all the best of luck in 2024 and the ability to achieve whatever it is you seek to achieve in the new year. Thank you. Take care.